Welcome, everyone, to the lifting for Tuesday, December 19th, 2017. I am Joanna Michaels, one of your hosts. Also joining me tonight is Christopher Stephen Jacobs and Katrina Schaff, who is right here in the building. However, she has the crud. And so I will be speaking for her. She wrote some notes, and I will read it on her behalf. For those of us, there are a few that joined us probably about 15 minutes ago, and we thank you all. We've had some technical difficulties, and although most of you guys have dropped off the line, we are still going to do this recording and put it out on YouTube. So we're sorry for the technical difficulties. We also had some last week, but we are determined to overcome them to continue what we feel is very important to all of us. So, as always, we ask you to visit us at our website, thelifting2017.wixsite.com/thelifting. There is a lot there for you to see and explore. And if you have any questions, please send them to us at thelifting2017@gmail.com. We will then collect them and answer them. And our next Q&A show is going to be next week. So any last-minute questions you have, please go ahead and get them to us. If you've not gone to the YouTube site that Chris has, please visit him. Basically, you just look up his channel by his name, Christopher S. Jacobs. So once you get to the YouTube site, which is, of course, www.youtube.com, then at the top to the left is a search box. Just enter Christopher S. Jacobs, and it will bring up his official YouTube site. Once you get to a site, just please subscribe to the channel, and you will get notifications of all new postings there. Chris did do a lot of channelings for another show he guest appears on, and he's put everything up there for you to see. Some of them, especially the ones done over the past few months, you'll probably be very, very interested in. So anyway, so let's get started on tonight's show. As everyone knows, there are so many conflicting emotions regarding the holidays, and we want to talk about them. But first, as always, an affirmation and blessing. So for tonight, in the confusion of life, strive for happiness, joy, and merriment, and miracles, for they are all around in the biggest and smallest of ways. So, for example, they say that Christmas is just around the corner. But how can that be when the world is round? Just something for you to think about. Miracles all over the place. So first up tonight is going to be Chris. What do you have to say about tonight?
All right. Before we come around to wonder and joy, let's discuss a couple short revelations that I have come to in regards to the origins of Christmas and the origins of why we decorate the Christmas tree. The first revelation I came to is this. Do you ever see those images out there of Santa and Jesus decorating a Christmas tree? Of which I cannot seem to find online anywhere. There's certain ones that I want to compare this to. Well, compare that to the images of Enki and Enlil adding to the quote-unquote tree of life, and you have just found your origin of the season. Now, I have no real historical backing other than a very strong intuitive hunch, followed by the guide's backing, but just take a moment, if you will, to compare the two images. Now, think back to when we have spoken about churches and temples being energy collectors and the fact that some of these henchmen in history were really rotted. Think of the focus people put on the commercial side of Christmas, and think of the havoc Black Friday can cause around Thanksgiving, and also Christmas Eve as well. People fighting over gifts and deals as well as fighting over the true meaning of Christmas. The focus fuels an energy collector the same as a church. So with that, the one image, which I will show now for the YouTube crowd and on Facebook later on, and for those listening live right now, which I didn't get around to putting them on Facebook, but I will. You can just search in the following manner. Type in Enki and Enlil plus Tree of Life. Hit enter and look at the images that come up. Look specifically at the image from the cuneiform tablets. The writing is at the top, and you see Enki and Enlil and what first looks like a tree between them. There is a Ra bird behind each one of them. The quote-unquote Ra are not only rotting Enki and Enlil, but Enki and Enlil are working on what appears to be an energy collector for fueling another Anunnaki on top of the collector, which I feel represents a satellite in orbit. Also notice how the Ra birds look a little less than robust, healthy looking birds. These birds are degenerating. Believe me that the surviving Ra bird species are very strong and muscular. Those that were captured and rotted degenerate over time. As we have said, fueled above and below, energy taken and sent to either sphere or energy collection platform in the skies or an energy collector below the surface. This particular image, I was told, was the origin point of the Christmas tree. In the negative forces' minds, the goal was to have the people recreate this image every year and focus on a religion and a belief system that never was. Now, I have also come to discover the other half of the Christmas for and against, Krampusnacht, ironically German in origin. This supposed holiday precedes Christmas and was created for the sole purpose of scaring little kids into being good for Christmas. Now, if one looks up this holiday in images of Krampus, one will find a shockingly draconian visage. And as we all know, Draco primarily feed on fear or louche energy. Some would argue that Krampus is strictly fictitious and allegorical in nature and was made up to make naughty kids act right. My friend Curtis and I are guilty of this very same thing with his kids by convincing them that if they ran outside at night, zombies would eat them. However, the similarities to Draco reptilians and the fact that people have sacrificed children to them for thousands of years is way too difficult to ignore. Also, the fact that he is Santa Claus's arch nemesis, hence the for and against is fueled as well. Not only that, the sexual energy stolen by the Harvester Energy Network is also attributed to the Inanna and Lilith mythologies, and their lust for sexual energy drawn into the Norse underworld. Now, I am not slamming anything good coming out of the holiday season. Quite the opposite, in fact. At the end of this show, I will edit in a channeling that I did last Christmas from jolly old St. Nick himself, describing how the negative connotations of the true history does not negate the fact that people still come together in love and joy during this time of year. Whether it was Jesus' actual birthday is irrelevant, even though it is not. Also, I have arduously searched for the images of Jesus and Santa decorating the Christmas tree, and I mysteriously cannot find them. I believe that they were a set of old Coca-Cola advert images. I saw one recently, and now it is gone. I wanted to also add that I myself have had a real tough time celebrating this time of year, knowing what I know about the true history. It is hard to continue decorating a Christmas tree knowing that it somehow leads back to an early energy collector. But as Joanna, my mother, and Laverne keep reminding me, the true history does not, in any way, shape, or form, block or negate the true love heart space energy. The true history is what it is, then the heart space takes over. Now, Joanna will read for my mother, since my mother is unavailable this evening.
Yes, so again, we want to send, and hopefully all of you guys as well, will send warm wishes out to Katrina. She had the crud. Unfortunately, she started getting better, and then it turned got a little bit more into her chest. So she's been coughing a lot, and she feels that she would not be able to read this without a lot of interference. So we're going to read it for her. But I will say this, because I'm going to digress for just a second, because I did promise Michael I would say this, and so I'm going to say this now. For all of those people out there, there's a lot of controversy out there regarding the medical community, pharmaceutical community, vaccines, different things like that. What we encourage here that we want everyone to understand, more than anything, more than anything, what you believe. That could be in vaccines, that could be in pharmaceuticals, whether a physician knows something or not, whether you're given something that's good or bad for you. What we want you to know more than anything is the one truth, and that is your free will. So your free will and your intent means everything. So you don't give away that power to things that you may think are negative, because there could be good as well as bad disguised as one. So for example, if you are in fear of taking something, be it a medicine, be it anything, because you feel for some reason there is negative in it, don't accept the negativity. Like you would your food, bless the medicines that you receive. Put your intent out there that they will be only for your highest good, that you will accept into your body what is good and helpful for your health, and you will not accept, and you also ask the guides to please take away anything negative. Nothing is more powerful than your free will and your intent. It is a discussion we try to have over and over to help you realize that, yes, empower yourself. So I say that because Katrina herself has been also given things that she has taken with the intent that only good will come of this. And the blending of the medical sciences and the spiritual sciences are what will occur and what need to occur in this society. So bless them and ask for only the highest good to be done. And that is the will that you are determined to have, and everything will work out as it is for the highest good. So I gave my promise to Michael that I would say that. I now have. And so what I would like to do now is read for you what Katrina had written down for tonight. So this is from Katrina. Good evening, everyone. I do not think of myself as a traditional person. I would like to think that I keep up with the times, that, even though I do not really like it, I accept change as a good thing, and that I live in the now and base my life, my decisions, and choices on what is happening in my life at the moment, instead of basing it on the past. When it comes to tradition, I felt that I would be the same, but that is not the case. Opening up the Christmas box this year, I noticed I was extremely traditional when it came to family and friends. I have ornaments that are falling apart. One of these ornaments has been on our tree for so many years, it can no longer hang or sit on a branch. It now is scotch taped onto the Christmas tree. Why do I hang it? I hang it because it was made by someone I love, and I remember their face when they gave it to me. So I will find a way to hang it on the tree every year. I also hang on to old Christmas and birthday cards. I recycle the ones I got from the previous year from someone with the new card for the current year. But the ones that I treasure are the ones from those friends and family I have lost during the year. Now each year I can take them out and read them and remember the last card from them for the rest of my life. I think we all have special things that we hold on to year after year because of memories they brought us, or that we now have a piece of someone or somewhere that is no longer in our life. When an item brings up beautiful memories, or a song takes us back to a time and place that makes us reminisce about people and events that were special to us, or a food we eat that reminds us of a moment, and eating it still makes us comforted inside, and so on. These traditions, whether they are special items, foods, or events based on belief systems or new things that will become old traditions, they are all good. Living in the now is important, but living with loving traditions that have been passed down are important too. As we will discuss tonight, there are many traditions, religious beliefs, and symbols and/or decorations that may not have originally started out meaning or representing what we think of them today. History has changed their meaning to coincide with our current beliefs. What we consider sacred, holy, or items that give us the holiday spirit, peace, or that holy night may have started out with a completely different meaning. Does it matter what we find out as the real truth? The important thing is that they represent and having a meaning that gives us joy now. Although what we believe in now may not be the complete truth, if it brings out the best in us and makes us happy, why get rid of it or stop doing it? This time of year, most of us are better people. The season helps us treat each other kinder. We are more generous. We respect each other's traditions and beliefs, which would really be blessings and miracles if we could take these same positive attributes and continue them through the following year. We become closer to our friends and family. Whether it is Christmas, Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, we all come together to share in love, peace, giving, family, and faith. We have even learned how to accept each other's traditions and differences by learning about them and sharing in them. We attempt to, and some really do honor and respect each other's beliefs. Unfortunately, the sad part is these differences separate us the rest of the year. Even people with no real belief system seem to find that inner feeling of love for mankind after decorating a Christmas tree, listening to holiday music, or, if all else fails, a few sips of eggnog or spiked punch can turn a Scrooge generous or help a Grinch's heart to grow. There are the people that say the holidays are too commercialized, that it has become all about the presents or how many lights you can stick on your house to compete with your neighbor. Those same people will tell you that the only thing that lingers after the holiday is the debt. That debt is the only tradition that lasts all year long. We are told we spend too much, eat and drink too much, and get too little sleep. But these are personal choices we all make. With all the negative things said about it, for most people, the need to celebrate another holiday and find the spirit that makes the season a happy event is the tradition in us that does not die. Some say that teaching your children to believe in Santa Claus is teaching them lies that is insulting to them and has no place in the true meaning of Christmas. Believing in Santa may be better than knowing the real truth. What is wrong with believing in magic? Most of us were probably told these little white lies that brought us a lot of excitement and joy, and we have survived and have had many wonderful memories of those past holidays. What does the real truth matter if the real truth is dark and pulls us from the light? Nothing should keep us from the light or from lighting up our homes and the block. This holiday season is what you want it to be. It is all based on your attitude and what makes you feel good. Do not let something dark from the past suck the light out of now. It really makes no difference what things used to be or what the real history is about this season. It makes no difference who you used to be, or what you did in the past. What matters is what things are now and who you are now. Whatever keeps love alive, families together, sharing and celebrating with friends, and giving to one another in all ways, are the traditions that should be kept alive year after year. So whatever your traditions or beliefs are, hold onto the magic and light up your world. Thank you for listening. So I want to say that was very lovely what Katrina wrote, and we are so grateful that she did write it down that I could actually say it for her tonight, and I hope it provides you with some joy and inspiration. So for myself now, I would like to add a bit more to what has been said. I personally believe that there is a lot of false doctrine in many religious beliefs of many faiths. This is not news if you have been listening to our shows. So, how does this make me feel about the holiday season? Well, I love it. Yep, I confess I do. I mean, I really love and have always loved this time of year. Now, do I love everything about the holiday season? No, absolutely not. I really do dislike it when people feel the pressure to do things they do not want to do, be it participate in a celebration, visit people you don't really care for, or buy gifts because you feel you should, not because you want to or can afford it. No, that makes me actually quite sad. And I hate that people worry so much about what others think and letting that be such a driving force. I really do believe in living one's beliefs, whatever it really is. So, again, if I had one holiday wish for all, it would be to be truly authentic to yourself and only participate in things that bring you joy. And if I digress, and if I could give what I feel is the best New Year's resolution, it would be to stop worrying. And what I would say to give up for Lent is please stop worrying, give that up as well. But again, I'm digressing, and let me just try to get back on track. So this time of year, we talk about and try to live our beliefs. So why is it so hard to live your true core beliefs and be happy in it? Why so much worrying? Well, I guess it is my belief that this all stems from a tradition that needs to be given up. And that tradition goes way back. You know, the one that says, you are what others think of you. And in that sense, the others can be those very close to you or those who we have been told judge our immortal soul. And again, this makes me sad. This historical tradition goes completely against my core beliefs. And for me, my core beliefs have been with me my entire life. I can remember thinking this way at 4 years old, really. It just took me a while to really live that truth that I came in with. It took me a while to even pay attention to the fact that my compliance to be okay with others was even at odds with my personal core beliefs. But then, as I grew, I became uncomfortable, and soon I wanted to know why. And then I started looking inside. And then I had to admit that, yes, it was real, my inner conflict, that is. And then the struggle began, because non-compliance was risky. I mean, come on, who relishes the idea of becoming the social outcast or the black sheep of the family? But as many of you know, the call to evolve more spiritually is strong, and it is quite natural. I think for many of us, being willing to be more our true authentic self isn't even as hard as we once thought around other humans. Now more than ever, it seems that once we are willing to open up and start talking, we find like-minded individuals that actually support and befriend us, if you can just even be brave enough to start talking. And that in itself is a sign of the positive change in energies, because it really wasn't always that way. Where we are really challenged is in knowing our own core beliefs. Think about it. What are your core beliefs? Do you know? And if you say you have some and really believe them, do you really? Are your actions and words congruent? From what I have witnessed in myself and others, this is actually the real question. From what I have seen, we are often tested in the areas of our own core beliefs. And when we doubt, it causes a crisis in faith. And it causes also a crisis in faith with ourselves, in others, faith in our guides, faith in benevolent motives, and faith in the source of all. And unfortunately, losing our faith can lead to uncertainty and fear, which in these energies can lead quickly to a circling of the drain. It is when we accept our core beliefs as truth in all scenarios, then our perspective changes. Our acceptance in our own core beliefs allow for other reasonings that all add to growth and self-empowerment and a confidence in ourselves that we can interact in this world more lovingly and effectively, honoring who we really are. For me, I have really been practicing some of my core beliefs, and I apply it to all scenarios. For one, I believe in a benevolent source, one who loves me no matter what, who I am a part of, connected directly to, and not through someone or something else. And that brings great joy to my heart. I am never unloved by the one who counts the most, after me, that is. The source gives me free will to learn and grow, and nothing can come between us. I know this core belief so foundationally that anything else is just an untruth, period. I do not believe in dishonoring others' beliefs. I just choose to stay away from it. So I ask, do you hold such a core belief? Or what is your core belief in the area of source or God and in your relationship with the source or God? Really give this some thought. I have also been practicing in the energetic core beliefs that joy and happiness and anger and fear are actually far apart in frequency, and negativity does not choose to reside in frequencies of joy and happiness. So I have put it into practice and choose of my own free will to go into joy and happiness if I feel negative forces are trying to influence me. This is a harder one to maintain belief in, but I must say that my practicing has convinced me of this truth as well. I may not be able to control others, but I believe in free will and that I can control myself. So I take responsibility for my own state of being. Now, as I have stated before, I believe we are to have the full spectrum of emotions. But what I am talking about is when negativity invades to try and influence. It is a choice to give in and let it take over. My core belief is that we have the right and ability to create our own bubble and not let that in if it is what we want. So I know many of you now are probably thinking, has she forgotten the topic? Oh, yeah. 'Tis the season for tradition, Christianity, and the birth of our Savior. Well, for me, since I believe in a direct linkage to the source, then I must admit that Jesus as my Savior is not my core belief. Now, do I believe Jesus is real? Well, yes, I actually do. But I do not believe in the dogma of him being our Savior, nor do I believe in saviors coming from the skies. I believe we are our own saviors, and I believe many others have the same belief as me and still refer to themselves as Christians. From what I have heard, many choose to say that they have what is called the Christ consciousness, which, from what I have been told, is a set of core beliefs about how we should be living and caring for ourselves and others. This is where those phrases, do unto others, or love yourself as I love you, come into play. I, for one, love these core beliefs. And if everyone could just concretely believe in these core beliefs and live them authentically, well then, this would be a better world, wouldn't it? There are just a few points I wish to talk about with these Christ consciousness beliefs. First off, when you look at most all religions out there, these beliefs are in every one of them. Yes, they are. So I guess all people who practice all religions are challenged in believing these core beliefs. And secondly, it is my understanding that Jesus would prefer not to be credited with these core beliefs, nor a religion surrounding him, or at least that's what he has told us. He would just love to see people understand that these are actually more universal oneness beliefs, not that they are something that he should be credited with. But again, that's just what we have been told. And I think a lot of people believe this, that maybe history doesn't exactly have the story of Jesus written correctly. So why is it so hard to transition around this tradition? Well, it goes back to whatever your core belief is. But I ask you, do you believe that the source or God above is benevolent and loving or not? Because in my opinion, it all comes down to the potential of making a mistake. What if I am wrong? Well, my core belief allows for mistakes and a source who just lets me grow and learn. Does yours? And if the answer is yes, then please stop worrying. Live your faith. So, back to the beginning. Why do I love this time of year? Well, it's simple. I love all things joyous and kind. And everyone must admit that through all of the hustle and bustle and confusion and challenges, people still rise to the occasion to want in their hearts to be kinder, reach out to those we love and care for, those we don't even know but want to acknowledge, and even be childlike for a while. So what is wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. I love the lights, the music, the greetings, because for a while we all are all sharing a moment together. Even if I do not believe in things, I think even if I do not believe in things, I think there are dogma in religious institutions. I have certainly seen many good people coming together throughout the year in these institutions and do many good things for the people of their community. They find great purpose and joy, which is real and healing to us all. exactly what the source and Jesus approves of for sure, or at least in my opinion. It is hard with all of the conflicting energies to maintain the spirit of this time of year. And that really is a truth. We all know that. But I believe we are growing into a new age where it will become easier and easier if it is in our collective co-creative desire. On the surface, it may not seem so, but just ask people what is in their hearts, and you will hear a different story. In my opinion, it is my opinion that we are in the midst of breaking down old traditions that no longer serve us. That is for sure. That is what is really going on. So I encourage you to find your core beliefs and let go of what does not serve you. You will honor yourselves, the source, and the world around you as you do. Then, please, just strive to be happy. So that's all I have to say. So let's see, what do the Galactics have to say about this?
This was going to be the part of the show where the Galactics were supposed to come in and give their part. But we've had an extreme amount of interference this evening on this topic, and several other topics like it. And there are no Galactics here to speak this evening. The one I was hoping would come in would have been Jesus, to actually talk more about his history and about the true meaning. And from what I understand the Galactics have said before, the history is important until it is not. But it's, in my opinion, that they're equal partners. That you have to know at least a little bit of the history in which you've lived in, then you can rise above the negative connotations of it. So with that, since there is no galactic contact tonight, I am going to splice in, as I said before, an older recording of when I brought St. Nicholas through, and he explained within that channeling about how the true history of Jesus, though tainted by reptilian and spindly being motives and agendas, can be surpassed with high vibration and actually turning this time of year into a joy rather than focusing on the negative. So with that, Joanna, what did you wish to say this evening?
So now you're probably listening to me because Chris would have spliced in that little piece from St. Nicholas, and we hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to tell you, in all honesty, when he channeled this bit of information that you just heard last year, I was probably turned into a 3-year-old. I was so excited and I was so happy because it really goes to show that, you know, some of the things where people were saying, you know, that Santa Claus is a lie or whatever, that absolutely not. It was based on something really true and really real, and it should make all of us turn into a little 3-year-old for a while to realize that indeed Santa Claus, according to this story, is actually a group of really wonderful beings and is very real. So with that, we really hoped you were happy with the discussion we have tonight. And Katrina was so kind to also want to send a last second blessing to everyone before we do the final closing affirmation, and basically say, before we go this evening, Chris, Joanna, and I want to wish you all a happy holiday. No matter what your traditions are, just celebrate them. Enjoy yourself, your family, and your friends, and may these celebrations bring you love, peace, and joy. So thank you, Katrina, so much for that last note. And also the last affirmation which you wrote, which is, All that is left to us by tradition is just mere words. It is up to each of us to find out what they mean. So thank you all tonight for joining us. Again, next Tuesday, we will go ahead and do a Q&A show. So if you have any last questions, please don't hesitate. Send them in to us at thelifting2017@gmail.com. And that's a wrap for us tonight, guys. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Merry Christmas and good night, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you.